Hey Stalk Life fam, I hope you all are doing well. I know I am long overdue for a video, and so today I really felt called to making one because I was just in a different headspace this morning and I thought I wanted to have a conversation with myself. And I've had many conversations with myself before this video actually. But I feel like I wanted to have a particular conversation with myself in which I really unravel suppress parts of myself and suppress energies that I'm harnessing within my spirit and within this physical body, so that I can really come to light with them and come to peace with them, right? And in doing this, having this conversation with myself, I really wanted to just film this so that you all can take away whatever you need to take away from the video. If you resonate with it, if you resonate with any part of the video, or if you don't resonate with it at all, that's fine. I just wanted to put this out there for anyone who can resonate with it, right? And so this is just going to be me speaking and me talking about, you know, this interesting headspace that I was in this morning, because this headspace was really a sign. I felt like it was like really a reminder from God that I had a lot of work I needed to undergo. And even though I am undergoing a lot of work currently, I need to remember that this is not enough, that I need to continue with this process day in and day out, because it's an everlasting process and journey, right? Because we're constantly growing, we're constantly, you know, aging in this physical realm, and we're currently diving into new territory and experiencing life as it comes to us. And in doing so, we need to heal, and we need to be able to understand the lessons and the experiences that we are undergoing and that we are faced with, in order to really become aware of the energies and the people and the environments that we're putting ourselves in. And I just really felt called to doing a lot of shadow work, because I realized that there's a lot that I'm harnessing within myself that I'm not bringing out into the light. And when I say I'm not bringing it out into the light, I'm not bringing it out to the light because there's a fear of reverting back to a previous self, or reverting back to old tendencies, or reverting back to a lower frequency, right? And we all have baselines of frequencies in which we reside at. And I feel like I've done a lot of work to move past parts of myself or stages within my life in which I really resorted in a lower frequency, right? And there was nothing wrong with that. It was just me discovering my true self and really going through life as a human being, as a spiritual being, having a human experience. It was that, and it was just really learning how to adapt to my environment, to the energies around me, to the external energies around me, and to myself, right? And this is all a part of growing, because as we grow and as we age, we learn that there's more to life than what society tells us. And once we start to uncover the truth, and once we start to uncover ourselves as individuals, then we really start to understand the messages within life, the messages that God really instills within us. But it's just these messages we have to really unravel for ourselves, in our own understanding and in our own self-work. So what I realize is that when I come back to places in which I fear reverting back to my older self, it's because I am at that stage where I have to realize that protection is everything, that I really have to protect my energy. And in order for me to be able to ascend and to transcend into my higher self, I have to understand that strength is a real virtue. right? Because strength is able to help us maneuver in territory that is unknown. And it really comes from a higher frequency, right? And I'm really bringing this up because the strength card is really in my mind from tarot, and we just experienced a full moon in Leo, so maybe this is like what's really coming to my mind and resonating with me right now, is just this message of strength and this message of being authentic in self, right? Because a lot of times we're letting society dictate who we are, what we like, how we act, our own expressions, and we're not digging deep into who we truly are. We don't even know who we truly are because we're allowing society to tell us who we are. And that's something that I have fought, because I know that in order for me to be truly happy, I have to be able to live in my purpose, and I have to be able to live with my passion. And I really believe that's why I've been a jack of all trades, because I really was trying to discover my passion in the society without realizing that my passions are beyond what society has constructed, right? Because it has yet to be created. It's something that I have to create, and it's something that I have to do the work and bringing to light. And bringing to life, right? Light and life. And so upon discovery of this, I realized that this is going to take a lot of work, and it's going to be through the grace of God and through uncovering and unraveling myself as an individual, and really connecting with myself, and really connecting with God, and connecting with the universe as a whole, and with my ancestors and with my guides, that it's going to be a process. But this process cannot come to life, or it can't be fully established unless I fully heal. And again, healing is an everlasting journey, and it's going to be continued throughout our lifetime. Okay, it's going to be continued, Lagna, and it's going to be continued throughout our lifetime. But if we don't do the work in healing our inner child or healing our past selves currently, we're going to have double the work later on. And when I say fully heal, I mean digging deep into the suppressed traumas and emotions that we've really buried because we don't want to encounter them, right? And really extracting them, recognizing the lessons that we need to learn from them, recognizing the obstacles, and recognizing the patterns that have led us there, and the patterns of those energies, so that we don't repeat it, and we could take in everything that we need from it, right? And transform that experience into something positive. And I know that trauma is not positive, but we're able to transform energy, and we're able to transform how we think about things and how we perceive things, right? So if I had a traumatic experience that had, throughout my childhood, and I don't want to uncover that, I don't want to bring that back to light, I don't want to have to deal with those emotions, that's me resisting the pain. That's me resisting my need to heal. That's me living in a state of fear, which is low vibrational, because it's unknown. I don't know what I'm going to face or what I'm going to experience when I do that work. It's scary, yes. But it's necessary for my peace. It's necessary for my ascendant to my higher self. Now, when I do the work and I unravel those traumas and I bring them to life, I bring them to light. I'm going to use the word life and light interchangeably here, right? Because to me it's like the same thing. I'm going to bring him, and I'm going to acknowledge the obstacles that I faced within that time period, within that age period. I'm going to acknowledge the emotions that I felt. I'm also going to acknowledge my low vibrations at that time, and I'm going to acknowledge all factors of that experience. And I'm going to take the lessons that were embedded in and I'm going to run with it, because now this is stored in my book of life, so that I no longer have to re-experience that, because that's a lesson that I faced. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to take the foundation of what created this experience, whether it's from the person that that really caused the trauma for me, because as children, our reality is really surfaced from the adults around us, right? And so a lot of times when adults are not healed fully or even partially, they reflect that trauma back onto us. And then we harness this trauma, and it continues to be passed down, because there's no mental awareness of the trauma or of the pain. There's no work that's being done to really make peace with it. And so it's going to keep resurfacing throughout generations until someone recognizes it and puts a stop to it and makes peace with it, right? So we have a lot of adults in this world, and now children, who have underwent trauma, lots of trauma, and have yet to make peace with that trauma. And they don't know how to deal with this trauma, and so they project it. They project it without recognition sometimes, without mental awareness sometimes. And as children, we are very susceptible to these energies, especially if you're a water sign, and especially when you're an empath. We absorb this deeply, right? Deeply. And so when you recognize that society and experiences and everything really form a person, really form who they are, really form what they do and why they do things, because it's the formula for that, right? It's the formula. We have to unravel and uncover the formula of trauma. And this is on a personal level, it's on an individual level, and it's on a universal level. We have to decode the formula of trauma so that we can change. We can transform that energy into a higher frequency, right? So it's really about recognizing the traumas that, for myself, what I've underwent, why I underwent them, who contributed to that, what I allowed, how I allowed that contribution, even if it's like in childhood, right? A lot of times it's out of our control. But we have to realize that the people who are contributing to this trauma have yet to heal, like I said. So we have to really understand the patterns in which they face and what they have yet to do, so that we don't do the same. So that we can change that energetic field. So that we can change the way we perceive that experience, right? That person acted this way because so-and-so, this happened when they were a child, and so now they do the same, and they bring about that same trauma onto other people and onto other kids. And so that's stored up, and it gets passed until someone says no. This is no longer going to resurface in life. I'm putting a stop to this, and I'm going to go ahead and change the way I feel about this, change this frequency, so that it serves for the greater good of humanity. And so we really have to start asking the question of why, right? What caused this? Why did this happen? Why is this person acting the way why is this person acting this way? Why am I feeling like this? We have to ask the question of why, what, and how on an internal level and on an external level, right? And it's easier when we do it internally, because we're able to control our thoughts. We can control ourselves, right? We can't really control our emotions, or yet I know I can't control my emotions yet. That's something I'm still tapping into. But what I realize is that we can control our emotions through changing our thoughts, how we think about something. So when we change that, we're able to tap into a different frequency of emotions, or a different perspective of the emotion that we're feeling. And so really doing a lot of the shadow work is uncovering the symptoms of the trauma, unraveling the formula again. And when that becomes clear, then we're able to have another answer in life, and we're able to really take those tools that we've unlocked from this scary level and bring them to our wounds, so that we can really just make peace with our wounds and move up to our higher selves, move up to where we really need to be at. Because living in our lower selves and living within these places of trauma is holding us back from our potential. But we have to unlock the reasons and the formulas of these traumas in order for us to understand and tap into life, in order for us to unravel factors of life that we have yet to uncover. And that's because we have yet to make peace with our wounds and with our trauma. And so these are just things that I'm thinking about at the moment, and they're just coming out as I'm speaking into the camera, because like I said, this is a conversation that I'm having with myself, and that I'm sharing with you all in order for you all to take away any messages that resonate with your own journey, self-journey. And so there's so much that I really want to dive into with this. Because it's, like I said, it's an everlasting journey of self-discovery, of healing, and we really have to take ourselves away and detach from society, and detach from the standards that are set for us and the rules that are set for us, and really learn to listen to our own needs and to our own selves, so that we can be our authentic selves in this world. Because listening to society, following what society has in store for us, is just really removing us from the path that God has in store for us. And when you choose yourself, you allow for God to choose you. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. When you choose yourself, you allow for God to choose you, right? Because we all have free will. So when you open yourself up to the possibilities, you open that door for God to really come in and shine through you, right? Because there's always a saying, no one can help you unless you help yourself. And it goes within this physical realm, and it goes within the spiritual realm, right? You have to be receptive to the energies that are in your presence. If you're not receptive of it, there's no change is going to be made. You can go to the doctor, you can go to herbalists, you can go to a friend and ask for advice on a condition, on a medical condition, on a spiritual, right? On a spiritual imbalance. You can do all that and take the advice, but if you don't act on the advice, no change is going to happen. First of all, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive anything. So if you don't ask for a method of healing from, like, if you go to an herbalist and you ask, like, what are some herbs that can really help to detox my liver, right? That's the first step, is going and asking. Now, that's just the first step in undergoing your process of healing and undergoing your journey. So now you have information. The herbalist tells you, oh, you can take dandelion root, and that would really help to cleanse your liver, and here are other herbs that help, right? Okay, now you have that knowledge. Now you've received one antidote to your healing. You have to go and act on that. If you don't go and act on that, first of all, you have to be receptive of allowing that information to come into your psyche and come into your presence, right? So if you allow yourself to understand that, okay, dandelion root is really going to help me to detoxify my liver, that's one step. You're now opening up to that information, to that possibility of healing. But if you don't go out and get dandelion roots, or if you don't go out and grow your own dandelion root or harvest your own dandelion roots, you're not going to have the dandelion root that you need to be able to detoxify your liver. So it's not physically there, but it's there in thought, right? It's there in acknowledgement. I know I need this to be able to heal my liver, but I don't have it physically. So how am I gonna get it, right? But if you don't think that it's possible for dandelion root to heal your liver, then you've already cut off that connection. There's no other forms of healing that can penetrate through that barrier that you've set up, that energetic barrier that you set up, right? Because you already cut off all connections to the possibility of this dandelion root healing your liver, right? But when you accept that, when you accept the possibility, that thought is resurfacing and that thought is in existence. Okay, now I need dandelion root. I need to physically get it. So you probably go to a store, like to an apothecary, to retrieve dandelion roots or to purchase dandelion root, or you go out into the park or to the forest to pick it, right? To really dig it out and do the work of harvesting your own dandelion root. So now you physically have it, right? That's step 2. You have the dandelion root physically. It's in your hand, right? But it's not going to do anything to your liver unless you consume it, right? But the question of how you consume it is also relevant in your healing. So you can take this in a capsule form, you can make a tea out of it, you can blend it. There's so many ways in which you can use this dandelion root that you now physically have to be able to heal and detoxify your liver, right? But we have to understand that different forms of preparation of this dandelion root will either be more or less potent in healing our liver, right? If we juice it, that's going to be very potent. If we capsulate it, that's going to be potent. If we make it into tea, it's not going to be as potent, right? And so that speeds up our healing process. Now, I'm going to use this in the least potent form, and I'm just gonna say, let's just boil this into a tea for like 20 minutes, right? It's not going to be as potent. But I take this and okay, that's going to be one part of my healing, but I didn't listen to the herbalist and recognizing that I actually need to take this in the most potent form to be able to fully heal my liver, or to be able to fully detoxify my liver, right? So my herbalist told me that I really have to capsulate these. So now I capsulate these, and I'm unlocking another realm to my healing, right? So that's just like a really quick example of how you can really get in the way of your own healing, right? Because there's levels to this methodology of healing. There's levels to our own self-discovery. So now I took the dandelion roots in capsules and I have unlocked this form of healing. Now, where I've unlocked, healing my liver. My liver is now healed. But now I have so many other organs that I have to heal. I have my kidneys that I have to heal. I have my heart that I need to heal. I have my gut that I need to heal. So now I need to do the same process. I need to ask for the remedies of each organ, and I need to ask for the remedies of my, whole system, my whole body. And I need to ask for the steps in potency, and I need to follow through with finding the remedies, and I need to follow through with acting on it consistently, right? And once I do that, then I'll be able to move forward in my healing journey, and I'll get to a point where I heal everything on the physical level, and then I can go ahead and ascend to healing my mental and spiritual level, right? And this is not to say that you can't do things in conjunction with each other. You always can do that in conjunction with each other. But if we're not healing our physical body, chances are it's going to be harder to heal our mental mind, and it's going to be harder to ascend to the spiritual realm, to the 5D realm, so to call it, right? And really 5D, 4D, these dimensions are just really levels of consciousness in which we perceive. We can see things, we can experience things when we allow ourselves to tap into that energy, into that frequency, right? It's just a level of frequency. It's a different level of frequency. It's a higher level of frequency. Right now we're in the 3D, right? But for us to really ascend to the 4D or to the 5D, we have to allow ourselves to tap into that consciousness, and we have to do the work in really raising our vibrational frequency. And one of the steps to doing that is to really do the shadow work and to allow ourselves to experience the formula of trauma and to unravel that formula so that we can bring about that formula into the universe and really transfer that energy and create change in the universe and in the earth and within ourselves and within others, right? It all starts with acknowledgments, and it all starts with action and change. And so that's really like a conversation that I wanted to have with myself. And I don't know about you all, but I know like when I'm speaking and I just speak, it's like channeling, right? I'm just speaking from my heart, and anytime I speak from my heart, I start to uncover different perceptions and levels of existence within myself and within the world. And even like when I spoke about that formula of trauma, that's just something that I really like just channeled out into this message when I was speaking just from my heart. I never even like came across that concept until now. And our minds and our bodies and our hearts are very powerful because everything is in connection to God. But we have to realize that in order for God to work through us, and in order for God to really use us and choose us, we have to choose ourselves, and we have to open up our frequencies to allow God to do so, and instead of blocking God off, right? So these are just some of the messages that I really wanted to come on here today to speak about, and I hope that most of it resonated with you, if not some of it, and if not, then I just hope that this was another perception that you can take away and just really use to understand yourself, because this is going to be something that I resort back to in my own healing and in my own journey. It's really a matter of understanding our highest purpose and our highest truth. And yeah, so without me continuing on, because I have a lot to say always, but I'm just gonna say that for more videos later on. And so if you haven't done so, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram. I am on Instagram at SoulAlkaline, and really my channel is about overall wellness, right? It's all about healing, and it's all about healing on a physical level, on a mental level, and now on a metaphysical level. And in order to do that, we have to really serve a foundation of physical. And as we do that, we'll be able to ascend and heal further. And so this is the new focus that I have within SoulAlkaline, and I just hope that you all will join me in this journey as I continue to really uncover myself and to really uncover light. And this is going to be an everlasting journey, and I'm excited for it. So with that being said, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to thumbs up this video, and I'll be back with more videos in the future.